This is Jonathan Gannon. Again, he was on with Burns and Gambo yesterday. JG is on with them every Monday talking about maximizing Kyler's skill set.
I think Drew and I will be lockstep how he's going to call the game, but we're going to maximize his skill set. So, obviously if he's out there, he feels good enough, we feel good enough that he's physically ready to play, mentally ready to play, and we'll use him accordingly.
What might that look like, Logan?
You want to answer this question?
No, I want you to
years.
talk. I want you to actually say something.
I don't want to derail where you're going with this, but I feel like I'm surprised I haven't heard this brought up yet, and I'm sure it has been, and it will be brought up all week. I wonder if there's any hesitation to let him run. Because I can tell you, I don't really want to send him out there and be like, all right, you're running for your life. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm assuming if they're putting him out there, he's physically 100%. And Kyler Murray, physically 100%, at least feels comfortable to take off and run if he needs to.
Let Kyler Murray book, as in book it, right?
As in Devin Booker?
How about,
See the shots that I took.
Wet like I'm booked. No, I don't mean it like that, though, honestly. Not book, so to speak. Okay, let Kyler Murray book, as in book it. Forget about let Russ cook. Let Kyler Murray book, as in book it. Have you ever heard somebody say that? Hey, book it over there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's an East Coast thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
it
right.
is, yeah. But I have heard it.
It might be right there. Anyways, Google it, my young crux, right there. Okay?
Go on your East Coast Google.
Kyler Murray in 12 personnel. I was talking a little bit about this right now. I think we're going to see an awful lot of 12 personnel. Yeah, I think we're going to see it out there. Trey McBride, of course, and Jeff Swaim. I think we'll see a lot of that. And Elijah Higgins, I should say, as well. He's getting a little bit more rep action right now. I think we're going to see him from time to time as well. But you can run the ball out of shotgun. You can put him under center, whatever it may be. But I think we're going to see a little bit more of that. And one of the reasons why is because Kyler needs to improve in regard to throwing the ball down the field. Now think about last year.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't want to.
Oh, my goodness. Kyler, what is wrong? The year before that, year 3, Kyler was throwing the ball down the field so well. And he was doing it even from the pocket. Blown away by that. And not so much, again, in year 4. So he needs to get back to throwing the ball down the field. And anytime you're going to do that, you need play action, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? With 12 personnel, 1 back and 2 tight ends, you can go 8-man protection. A lot. 8-man protection. Max protection and release 2 receivers into the pattern. Hollywood Brown being
Wolves Playbook for Dummies. 8-man, also known as max protection.
8 men physically protecting the quarterback with a check down late by the running back.
Right on, Mel. That's exactly what it is. And why not? Take some shots down the field. His accuracy 2 years ago was fantastic down the field. So he's got to get back to doing that. And out of 12 personnel, you can do it. And also, move the pocket. Move the pocket with Kyler Murray. Little half rolls. I'm not talking about just pure sprint outs or bootlegs and waggles. Also, just little half rolls. Move the pocket around. Keep the defender guessing as to what you're going to do. Don't let him ever get a feel. I can tee off on this.
Yeah, well, that to me is the biggest key. And Atlanta's defense, like you said, is good. It's decent. They don't have Myles Garrett, so that's certainly a good starting point. The other part about this, this is the next chapter for Kyler Murray. I understand that he has been around the team, and that's great. I understand that he and Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing and all these guys, and they've all spoken. I understand that's all great, but now we're actually going to see him play for a coach that isn't Cliff Kingsbury for the first time in his NFL career. And we're going to see how different that looks. And we're not going to see it all on Sunday, but Sunday's the start of it. One more from Jonathan Gannon talking about just kind of talking things out with Kyler Murray.
It's probably me more picking his brain more than him picking mine. But, yeah, I think I've always been a believer in that. Our coaching staff does a good job of asking different sides of the ball, what's going on, input, information, things like that. And from, the quarterback perspective, from his eye, I'm very intrigued to hear what he has to say about certain things and vice versa too. So it's been a really good back and forth.
I like Gannon so far, but let's not pretend that he wasn't brought here to get the most out of Kyler Murray or, whoever they ultimately go with at the quarterback position if they make a switch there in the offseason. So this is now the first insight, the first glimpse we're going to get into really what he can do with Kyler Murray.